Now, this is breaking news, and it comes to us from U.S. Central Command. Our military is making history on the battlefield. New video shows long-range precision strike missiles being used in combat for the first time ever. CENTCOM says they provide unrivaled deep strike capability. And here is the moment the U.S. destroyed an Iranian naval ship with a torpedo. This was in the Indian Ocean. It was the first time a submarine has sunk an enemy ship with a torpedo since World War II. Our military has struck or sunk more than 20 Iranian ships so far. These images show the attack from last night on a Soleimani-class warship. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth says we've virtually wiped out Iran's leadership. Watch this.
Iran's senior leaders are dead. The so-called governing council that might have selected a successor, dead, missing, or cowering in bunkers. They can't talk or communicate, let alone mount a coordinated and sustained offensive. The Iranian Air Force is no more. The Iranian Navy rests at the bottom of the Persian Gulf. Combat ineffective, decimated, destroyed, defeated. Last night, we sunk their prize ship, the Soleimani. Looks like POTUS got him twice.
He says we're winning hands down. The gentleman on the right-hand side of the screen is General Jack Keane. General, Iran's deputy foreign minister just did an interview with MS Now, and he said a new leader has not been chosen. He says an interim body of 3 people running the country at the moment are preparing for the election of a new supreme leader. General, looks like they're all over the place. They're trying to control the message, and they're not being very successful on it. What do you say?
Yeah, they're in a desperate stage for sure, and we're beginning to see the fissures, to be sure, and they're on a pathway to major problems and likely some kind of collapse of this regime. We don't know for certain, but that's clearly, it appears that pathway is right in front of us. What we have been able to achieve militarily is really quite remarkable, and it's a fulfillment of the very ambitious plans that we had put together based on excellent intelligence and the very experienced forces that are at play here and knowing what we could do based on that intelligence. We have on the battlefield here the 2 most proven militaries in the world today. They have the most experience, and for the first time ever, they are working on a combined operation that has common goals together. And nobody can stand up to that. And certainly not the Iranians, who are already in a weakened condition. So let's take an example. Ballistic missiles. That was the major conventional system that they have, and something that we were both very concerned about, the United States and Israel. And on day 1, we did massive attacks on that, so much so that it reduced their ability to retaliate. Remember, on day 1, they were saying weakened response, Israelis and the CENTCOM people as well. And then our ambition is that by day 3, we would reduce their ability to retaliate and conduct attacks against U.S. bases and Israelis by 75%. That is exactly retaliation diminishment that we achieved on day 3. Now it's up, according to the briefing we just heard by Chairman Keane and Secretary Hegseth, somewhere around 86%. Well, that's just an example. The Navy's gone, the Air Force is gone, and certainly the drones are being depleted rather dramatically. The retaliation impact on them is 73%. And on missile penetration and drone penetration, it's down around 10%. And that is the reason, Stuart, for, by anybody's definition, light casualties, despite the heartbreak of losing 6 of our soldiers due to a drone attack. And let me say that as a result of that, certainly that has committed all of our military forces, both Israeli and American, to make certain that those lives aren't squandered. And we finish this thing completely on our terms. That this regime doesn't have the capability to hurt Americans, to hurt Israelis, or destabilize that region again, which they have been doing for almost 50 years. Now, we are seeing the pathway for this to be over. As
President Trump says, our goal is no nuclear weapons, no refining of uranium, no missiles, no drones, no production thereof, and no help for proxies like Hezbollah and Hamas. Are we going to achieve those goals relatively quickly?
Well, we're going to achieve those goals based on the conditions that we're dealing with. So we haven't set a time schedule for that. If we do it in the next 10 days, that'd be fine. But if it takes 3 or more weeks, we got some lousy weather coming in a few days. That'll curb some of our aviation operations, to be sure. The enemy always has a vote here, but not much of one now, given what we've done to them.
Yeah.
So we've always had from the beginning what we call a conditions-based operation. Those conditions, our ability to achieve our objectives, drives the length of the mission. So we're not preoccupied with time. We're only preoccupied with the targets assigned to defeat each one of those systems that you just mentioned. And when that is done, then we're likely finished. Now, the Israelis are starting a new phase yesterday, and that deals with stripping down everything that sustains the regime. Not only leadership we've seen, but the IRGC, its leaders, its entire organization, its network communication systems, the weapons that they use themselves, where they are in various cities to repress the population. The same thing with the Basel militia, the intelligence security services, and the police infrastructure that's used to repress the people. We fully intend to strip that away so that at the end of the day, these are the organizations and capabilities that preserve the regime. The Israelis are going to take that all away. And based on what we're doing to the 4 weapon systems that you just mentioned, when at the end of that, you add all of that up, it's hard to see
They've gone.
The regime being able to continue.
Can I just ask you this? Hegseth and Keane previewed what they call a gravity bombing campaign. What's that?
Yeah, well, when we started the campaign, before we had air superiority, we used standoff musicians like Tomahawk. We can deliver Tomahawks from the air and from the sea, underneath the sea and on the surface. And we were delivering precision-guided strike munitions like you just saw. That PRISM is an Army system replacing ATACMS, but this one goes longer, more lethal, and more accurate. What we have now, we don't have to use those standoff systems that are not as lethal as gravity precision systems. Now we can fly any place we want to fly, and we own the air completely. So most of our bombing from here on out will be gravity bombs, which we have unlimited stock of almost. 500,000-pound, 2,000-pound bombs, very precise, but obviously we can bring in big bombers that we normally wouldn't bring in to do that kind of work, and other fighters as well. Yeah. And we're not worried about them being exposed. So they will fly literally all over Iran doing that. And I like the fact that Hegseth, breaking the will of your opponent is the objective of war. Yeah. You got fighter jets flying over your territory 24/7. That starts to break your will, believe me. Yeah. And that's what we're about now. Good question.
Great stuff, General, and it's great to hear this positive news about our military in Iran. General, always a pleasure. Come and see us again soon. Thanks a lot, sir.
You betcha. Thank you.
You betcha. The Senate votes today on a resolution to curb President Trump's war powers. I think the Democrats want to stop the war, but why stop now? Come on. Senate Armed Services Committee member Joni Ernst takes it on. The senator is next.